So in order to create a Spring Boot app, we need to go to the official website of Spring, and then we need to add some dependencies. So let me do that. So I'll add Spring Web. So what this does is it will pull all the dependencies needed for web development, and then we will be needing Lombok. So as it says, it reduces boilerplate code. And then since we are working with MongoDB, we need to add that as well. So I'll add that. And then the language is Java, project is main project. I'll keep the project metadata as it is. And the Java version is 11. So and then we will have to click generate to download the Java file. So I've already done that and extracted it and opened it in my IDE, which is IntelliJ. So here it is. So and then we'll have to go and create a package. DAO. So what DAO means is data access object. So in here only we will be creating our repository to access the database, and then we'll have to create a package for model. So here we will have our we are going to create a customer database. So we will have our customer class and the controller class here. So let me create that. So since we are working with MongoDB, we will have to annotate with document because it's a NoSQL database. And then we will have to add the fields which we need. So I'm going to add the ID. And then the name is a string. And then I'll add the salary figure. So to uniquely identify each data, we'll have to add the ID annotation. I'll do that. And also we have to add the data annotation, which comes from Lombok. So what this will do is create getters and setters for this and reduce boilerplate codes. So this is done. This class is done. And then I have to create another class for managing the controllers. Coming to this, I go to the DAO and create the interface for repository. So we will have to annotate this with repository annotation, which indicates that the annotated class is a repository and can be used to retrieve and work with the database. And then we'll have to extend this with Mongo repository. What MongoDB is about is it has some methods to find and to retrieve data from the database. So that's what it's all about. So here we will have to pass the class we've created, which is customer, and the ID. So we have created an integer ID. So since this is generic, we cannot pass primitive types. So I will pass it as integer. So this is done. And then we'll move to control class. So in order to to know that string, for the string to know this is a controller class, we'll have to annotate it with REST controller, and then annotate with request mapping. So what request mapping is a general URL for all the APIs for all the controller classes. So I will have to get the repository class here. So customer repository. And then enter it with AutoWire. So what AutoWire is, it enables you to inject object dependency implicitly, like a customer repository equals new repository. So we don't need to do that. This annotation will do it for us. It will create the constructor and all what we need. And then let me create a method to retrieve the data from the database. So first we will create a method to post the data. So since we need the input data from the user, we will have to annotate with request body. And then pass the customer. And then get the database, which is customer repository dot save the customer, which we are getting from the user. And then just return a dummy text. Customer has been added. Get ID. So this get ID and get name all comes from the data annotation, which is from Lombok dependency. So this is done. So we will have to annotate this with, since this is a post request, we will have to annotate this with post mapping, and then add the endpoint URL. So it will be at customer. So the post request is done. So let's move to retrieving it. So since it will be a list, I'll pass the list. So since this is a GET request, we'll have to annotate this with GET mapping, and then pass the URL, which is so create and read is done. So the next one is update. So to do that, create method. So in order to do that, you'll have to get the ID from the user. So I'll have to pass path variable. What this does is, so when we need some value from the user, we'll have to pass this variable annotation. So path variable int ID, and also we have to get the data from the user. So request body, pass the customer. Since this is an update, we should pass the put mapping. Inside here, we should pass the ID within curly braces, since it's coming from the user. So this equals to this one. So first of all, we will have to do a validation whether this ID exists in our database. So customer repository exists. So all these methods come from because Mongo repository which we extended. So we have to pass the ID. We have to create a customer. So to find by ID, I will have to create a new method in here. So I'll pass it here. Customer find by ID. An integer. So in here I'll pass that in. So now let's do a validation. So if the customer does not exist, we have to return a message saying that the customer does not exist with that ID. We will have to update the customer. So I'll get the customer 1 and set the name to the new customer which we are getting from the user. So set get. So I'll do the same for the salary as well. And then I'll save the updated one to the repository. Return validate. All we are doing is, first of all, we are checking whether the customer is there with that ID. So if it does not exist, we are sending a text saying that the customer does not exist. Then we are getting the customer 1 from finding the customer 1 from the database, and then setting the name to the new customer which we are getting from the user. So that's done. So create, read, and update is done. Now we are going to do the delete one. Delete. So in here also we will need the path variable since we will have to get the ID from the user. Dot delete by ID. Delete it. ID. And then annotate it with delete mapping. Since we are getting the ID from the user, we will have to give it within the curly braces. So this equals to this. So now we will have to create a this database in MongoDB. So I'll get to Mongo Cloud. So I've already logged in. You will have to create a account in Cloud Mongo, and then we'll have to go to Browse Collections. So I've already created a database. So I'll drop this and create a new one. So these are some databases which I've already created. So for this, I'll create the database name with customer DB and collection as customer. So to connect this database to our application, we have to click connect in here and then connect to application. We have to change the driver to Java and the version which we prefer. So I've already done that. So here we are getting the URL to connect it with our application. So we'll have to change the password to our password and the my first database to test, which is the default value in Mongo. So I'll copy this and we'll have to head over to the application properties. So in here, we'll have to pass it as admin by default, and we'll have to pass the URI which we copied now. So in here, I'll have to pass my password. Then change my first database to test, which is by default for everyone. And the database name, which is this one and not this. This is the collection name, so this is the database name. So customer DB. It's case sensitive, so you have to click correct. So that's done. So everything is done. So let's run our application. And check the APIs in the using Postman. So create a new GET request. So this is the port number as default for the Tomcat server, which come from Spring Web dependency. So I'll leave it as it is. So this is the API which we passed in here. The common URL for every controller. So it's API. So I passed it in here. And to at customer, we have passed this as endpoint. So I'll pass it in here. And then change this into post. So we'll have to pass the body, so raw, and then we'll have to click change this into JSON. So in here, we have to pass it according to this. So first one is ID, which is an integer. Send it as 154. Name, which is string. And then the salary is long. So that's it. So let's send and check it. So we are getting the success response, which is 200. So the customer has been added with the ID 1234. So let's check using the GET request. So that is get customer, the endpoint URL. So I'll copy it and paste it. So I'm getting that response. So then we will, before deleting it, we'll update it. The URL for that is update ID. So as I said, in the curly braces, we'll have to pass the ID. So without the curly braces, we will have to pass the ID in here. So it is 1234. And body, pass it as JSON. So I'll change the name to Kevin. So system has been updated. So let's check with the get request. So the name has changed to Kevin. So now let's delete that. Using the delete request. We'll have to pass the correct ID. So 1234. So the customer has been deleted with the ID 1234. Now let's check that. You will have to get an empty array. So yeah, we are getting